Hey y'all, it's Malachi and Logan from the Band Loula here.
And you're listening to Music Row.
Welcome to Music Row, a backstage pass to your favorite country artists. Here's your host, Leake.
Welcome back to the program. Thanks for all the continued love, the support, the likes, the high fives, the shares, the comments, the questions, the queries. It's so appreciated. And that's what keeps it all moving along. My name is Leake, as you may have heard via the intro. On today's program, we check in with the band Loula from northern Georgia. Think of the Civil Wars band. Remember them? Barton Hollow. Their vibe is so similar, it is crazy eerie. You're going to love their sounds, and you're going to love their story. They're currently, and I mentioned this quite a bit during the program, but they're on an incredible tour. Zach Top, Dierks Bentley, playing every arena, every amphitheater all summer long. A lot of fun there. We'll check in with Malachi and Logan of the band Loula in just a bit. First, some news. Chris Stapleton had to postpone his Greensville, South Carolina concert due to critical pieces of tour production equipment being damaged beyond repair. Now, this was while they were en route to the venue. The concert, originally scheduled for the 4th of June, has been rescheduled to the 9th. And if you bought your tickets and you want to still go, that's cool. You can go July 9th. If you want to cancel because that date doesn't work anymore, you have until the 24th of June to get your refund. Ashley McBride and Cody Johnson were hosting the CMA Fest on stage at Nissan Stadium last week. If you were in the live, you would have seen them do all that. Well, right now, ABC is cutting together all of that footage. The full broadcast of the CMA Fest TV special will air on June 26th. You can catch all the live shows and the biggest performances, and it's a pretty big production. It's pretty cool, obviously. Nissan Stadium. So there's about 55, 60,000 people there. And I love to see this. Dallas Smith's Lifted Foundation continues to make a significant impact on youth and mental health across Canada. The organization, founded by Smith, focuses on providing essential resources for young people, including counseling, sports programs, nutritious food. One of its major upcoming events is the CCMA Foundation / Lifted Charity Golf Tournament. This is coming up September 10th in Kelowna. This is right around the same time as CCMAs are going to be held in Kelowna this year. And it's going to be full of country stars. So if you're in that region or if you're thinking about going to the CCMAs, try to get into this golf tournament. Whatever it costs, you'll probably get paired up with someone like Smith. You'll lose the tournament, but it'll be a cool hang regardless. So it's cool to see some great news from the Lifted Foundation and Dallas Smith.
Wherever there's a heartbeat and a stage, there's an artist set to perform. This is Music Row on Tour.
Brought to you by the Pecan Agency, connecting the bands with the fans worldwide. Luke Bryan's country song Came On Tour hits Toronto on July 10th, the 15th in Chicago, July 20th. You can find it in Nashville, Tennessee. Thomas Rhett is in Calgary on July 6th. On the 17th in Toronto and the 25th in Denver, and Little Big Town hit Atlanta on the 24th of July, 27th in Dallas, and July 30th, they play LA. Coming up, my conversation with Malachi and Logan, otherwise known as the band Loula, in just a bit.
Hi, my name is Kim Stockwood. I am a proud Newfoundlander and a Canadian singer-songwriter. In a landscape where many lack access to health benefits or employee assistance programs, the Unison Fund serves as a lifeline of hope for musicians and music industry professionals facing medical emergencies or mental health challenges. To learn more about Unison and their programs, please visit unisonfund.ca.
Hey everybody, it's Malachi and Logan from the band Loula here.
And you're listening to Music Row with Leake.
I was thinking about this the other day. You guys have maybe been scheduled into the easiest, best tour ever. You have the entire summer of touring, yet it's one day on, one day off for the most part, it seems. And then you get like a 10-day break and you get thrusted right back onto an amphitheater stage or in a big arena somewhere. This is easy living for the band Loula. You guys have got to give the booking agent and management some serious props for this one. I'm sure they're screwing you over somewhere along the line, but it seems like it's really good for you guys right now. Malachi and Logan are here. Thanks for doing this, you guys. Your story is, as I understand, you knew each other because you're in a small town, right?
Correct.
Yes, yeah.
But this is like a town of maybe 3,000 people or so.
I don't know what the what do you call that population is, but yeah, small town. Gainesville, Georgia is the bigger, greater town that we live in, and then Loula, Georgia is where we get the name, which is an even smaller town.
Yeah. Loula there's no telling how many people are there because it's pretty much nothing but a set of train tracks and a Dollar General. So there's definitely not much, but
Y'all have Dollar General here?
Hang on.
Yeah.
You guys are downplaying probably one of the greatest things that Loula has to offer, and that is the school bus museum, or the dead school bus museum.
oh my gosh, how do you know?
Well, who else has a dead school bus museum?
The school bus graveyard.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny.
Have you been on any of those buses?
Yes. Yeah.
Shut up.
So the first time I ever went, one of our mutual friends, Asher Griffith, shout out Asher, I did his senior pictures, and I'd never been there. And
Right, because you had photography. You were doing all kinds of photography.
yeah, at one point, I'm a different person now, but that was me. And he said he wanted something different, kind of eclectic for his senior pictures, and I just drove up there in my little Honda Accord, me and him, with a camera and some props for him. And I didn't know who to ask, so I just drove into the school bus graveyard, and here comes the owners in a minivan, like a pile of them, trying to track us down because we didn't get permission. But then we kind of swooned them over and they let us stay. And we did pictures in the bus and like an old truck. It's pretty wild, and they're all stacked on top of each other.
You know, this just goes to prove that there's a business opportunity out there for almost anything.
Literally anything.
The school bus graveyard lives in Loula, Georgia. So you guys were like pals. You kind of were running in the same circles, but you didn't go to the same school together, did you?
We went to separate schools, but we met.
One of the two schools in the area.
Yeah. Well, there's it's pretty easy: South, East, West, North Hall, and I went to South, and she went to East. So.
But how did it hook up so you guys could find each other musically? Because weren't you doing stuff online, like YouTube videos and such? But there was also I'm guessing you both sang in the churches, or.
Yeah, we met at an event that was happening, a cancer benefit that was happening. Whenever we were about 14 years old. That's how we met. And then along the lines, we ended up going to the same church and singing together in church. And outside of that, things kind of naturally progressed to what you said, some YouTube videos that we did. And that's where we found out that we had a creative spark.
When you were young, though, in the church, was that I want to be an artist performing in the church? Or was it just like, hey, you're here, can you just go sing? Because you're coming every week. So just do it because we need some band.
Yeah. Malachi was, I think he kind of had an idea that he was going to be in the music industry earlier on. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but he was leading worship before I was. So when I moved to his church, I was watching him lead on Sundays and Wednesdays, play guitar. He was very talented in that way, and also was very confident. I was debilitating stage fright, like throwing up before I got on stage type of stage fright.
I love it. You're in a band that's touring around the world right now, and you had this incredible stage fright.
Right.
You overcame it.
But timing is everything, because I really believe if this band would have happened any earlier, we wouldn't be. I mean, timing is just, everything's for a reason. Everything is exactly where it's supposed to be. But for a long time, I just watched Malachi and his confidence, and I sang in chorus and like in the choir at church, but it took me a long while for us to be able to sing together on Wednesdays because I was afraid, but I learned a lot from him. And it was really cool that we sang together all those years ago in church, and then it was years later when we decided to do the YouTube videos together.
When did you know, though, that you kind of, our harmonies are already kind of set? Like, you didn't have to maybe really adjust them because they're there, it seems like, right off the bat.
I would say it was whenever we started doing the YouTube videos together. We did the first video we ever did was a cover of Billie Jean, and it's kind of a different cover to do, but we are inspired by the Civil Wars a lot, and they have a version of Billie Jean, so it's
they do, yeah,
kind of a cover of a cover. And we were inspired by that. So we did that and found out we had that creative spark and the harmony that you were just speaking of. And we did maybe 3 other videos, and we did those months apart from each other, but we always got great reactions from our family and friends in our community. And eventually people started asking us to play, gigs, just at farmers markets or wherever it was. And there was kind of a turning point where, I'd been doing that solo, just doing like bar gigs, whatever, just to make ends meet and everything. And,
but also get reps, get stage time.
Sure. Yeah. Get reps and everything. And, I was doing the kind of the solo thing and singer-songwriter thing. And whenever that crossroads came where people were asking us to start doing that same thing together, I was like, we just need to make a band. And, I don't really want to play 3 hours of cover music together and, do that thing. Although we did what we had to do. And we played 3 and 4 hours of cover music when we had to, of course, everyone does. All musicians, it's a stepping stone, get your reps, like you say. And
what was the worst song that you knew you had to play that was a cover song, but it always got you a reaction? It's probably one of those songs that like, man, we always kill this song. I hate playing this song, but it does so well. It's probably what's paying us.
I don't know.
I'm not sure. I feel like for me, it's like Wagon Wheel. I don't want to sing that, but I remember we sang for somebody's engagement party. You remember that? Like on the lake? Yeah. And somebody came up and asked for Wagon Wheel, so we played it. But I would say I was kind of happy to be getting reps in general. So
sure.
I wasn't very picky about the covers that we were doing. There was sometimes people would come up to us. I remember at a wine bar, this lady had been overserved a little bit, and she was like, play Adele, do Rolling in the Deep. And I was like, I don't know. We've never done that before. And she like Venmo'd us money, like wanted us to do it. And we did it. But it was times like that where I was like, oh, we haven't practiced this and it's on the fly. That's what I don't like. But we always made it through.
It's great though when you're doing 3 hours of covers. It means you've got a whole library of songs that are tested. They've worked in, for years and decades. People know them. And it probably helps in your own songwriting once you package all that stuff. And go, we've been playing hundreds of songs that are similar to what the band Loula is today.
Yeah, I'd say it helped develop our artistry for sure, because you don't just want to sing anything. You don't just want to be a karaoke machine. You want to have, even if you're choosing a cover song, you want to make sure it fits your artistry and what you do well. And so that was something that shaped our artistry, I would say, is picking that catalog of cover songs that were a necessity during that time.
Sure.
Just building our fans and just playing, getting stage time. But yeah, you're right. Finding that creativity and that spark is important.
You've got the critical amount of songs, a couple songs, and you decide to go into the studio. Was it going in the studio to record 3 at once, or was it we're going to just do one song at a time and see how that goes? What was your decision there?
Well, when we became a band and we started playing little shows, like we would play, like you said, in bars, and then we did a house show. Actually, that was 3 years ago yesterday, was our first house show, our first Band Loula show ever.
Was it a paid gig?
No,
we put it on.
We paid it. We paid for it. The night before, we sat in his church and we painted a painter's cloth from Harbor Freight. We painted our logo on it and we hung it up in the trees. And we did a show in the pasture. And the very next day, so 3 years ago today, we went to the studio as the Band Loula for the first time. And we recorded and put out a song called My Mama Likes You. But we were going and recording a few at a time, usually.
Because the songs were ready. You were just like, we just need to get it professionally polished.
Right.
Yeah, that was, people have different ways of recording. And our way, since we're such a vocal, dynamic with the harmonies and everything, we have a lot of our arrangements, for the most part, worked out. But then we love to collaborate with a producer that we trust and do it that way as well. But we took in usually 3 to 4 songs is a nice amount. That way you can wrap your head around them all and really give them the time they need. And it's also economical depending on how you're recording, you know?
Well, you got to commute. You got to take the time, set the time aside and get into the spot. Didn't you go to Muscle Shoals too?
We did. And Malachi had already been there to do a solo project. He recorded a couple songs there and had already, some of the people that were involved at that studio, he had known for a while. And that was my first studio experience in general.
Just going into one of the most famous recording studios in the world.
Right. So it was a big wave of things. I felt like a sponge. I was learning so much because I was learning the culture in general of Muscle Shoals, and then also how to be in a studio. That studio in particular was like a live-in studio, so you could go stay for the week while you were recording. So it was a lot of new things that we were learning, but it definitely, for a first-time studio experience, felt like we were super lucky in that way because we had legends around us.
Yeah, it's Muscle Shoals, Alabama is the area, and then the one that everybody really recognizes is Fame Studios. But we recorded at Ivy Manor, which is a great studio. She explained it. It's a you stay there while you record, so there's rooms up top, and then the whole first floor and basement are studio space, and it's a really great spot.
Living, breathing, focusing on your sound.
Yes, yeah.
And whether or not you want to still be a band.
Yeah, true. Yeah. It's a pressure cooker and the good end. It's, in a great way, I think.
This tour right now, I mentioned off the top, like you got booked on maybe one of the easiest tours out there as I see it, because you're going all over North America, playing all these beautiful venues and such, but you're also with Dierks Bentley, who might be one of the nicest guys in country music. What is he saying to you guys on this tour?
It has been really a dream. I know it sounds really cliche, but it doesn't feel real most times because I feel like when you grow up with someone, like I feel like I've grown up with Dierks Bentley. Malachi's grown up with Dierks Bentley on our radio, on my boombox, CDs from Walmart. That person is not real to you until you see their face in person.
Right.
And he truly was just a figment of my imagination until we saw him at rehearsals. And it's pretty surreal that not only that person, you get to be in their same atmosphere, you get to play shows with him. He's asking you to go on tour with him, but he's nice. Like
he's
not,
weirdly nice.
It's not very common that they're nice. It must not be real because he's being really nice to us. But he's incredible, and I can't say enough about his team. His team and the way that he's built his crew out as a family says everything that you need to know about Dierks Bentley. On top of that, we'll look over from the stage, and we're just first of three. I mean, we're babies. So sometimes we look over to stage left, and he's standing there watching our whole set. So there's a million good things to say about him, but he's a stand-up guy for sure.
He hasn't taken you up in the plane yet?
We haven't got on the plane yet, no. No, we're in our Sprinter van chasing around the buses. So.
But that's okay because, again, you've got this time off. Were you at CMA Fest? Were you there this year?
We were actually, so we played shows and we missed most of CMA Fest, and then Dierks and Zach rode their bus back through the night to be able to play the last day of CMA Fest. And again, we're in the Sprinter. So we were on a 13-hour trip back that day. So we missed CMA Fest, but we're okay with that.
This is what I know about CMA Fest. It's always 9,000 degrees. And when you're performing on stage, the sun is actually shining directly down on you. So usually, you can take a little bit of a minute and enjoy these amphitheaters with the shady stages. Everything's going so good for you guys.
Yeah.
Ashley McBride, I was watching the video, Running with Devils.
Running off the
Angels, yeah.
Jesus. Oh, you got so much devil music, and now I'm mixing up the angels with the devils.
That's Ashley, the devil I know.
The devil I know is Ashley McBride.
I never watch videos, and I'm watching that video, and I see Ashley in it, and I'm like, did I just see something that I wasn't? Because it's very haunting, that imagery. What's your kind of relationship with Ashley McBride?
She asked us to go on tour with her last year. We had a tour with El King, and in between, like right before and after, we did a couple one-off shows with Ashley. And ever since we met her that first time that we opened for her, she just, connected with us in a huge way. And I think she does that with a lot of young artists. She is so, speaking of nice people, her, Dierks, she seriously loves nothing more than to be able to pour into a new artist and give advice and be there for you and be a support system. And she has been just that for us. So the relationship has been amazing. And that's kind of how the video thing developed, because we opened for her. And I think she came in the dressing room one day and was just like, I love that song. I love Running Off the Angels. If you ever need me in the video, you say the word. And I was like, here I am saying the word. Will you be in the video?
We're looking for a devil.
Yeah, no, we really enjoyed having her featured in that music video, and we were really honored that she would want to do that. And she's been a part of our career in so many ways, even in the short time that we've known her. Like, we had our Grand Ole Opry debut.
Congratulations.
A few weeks ago.
Thank you.
That's crazy.
And she gave us just a very graceful introduction at the Grand Ole Opry that night. So she introduced us before we went on stage. So it was really an honor.
Were you freaking out?
Oh, yeah.
Was it tougher?
Yeah.
Was it more difficult than that house show that you guys put on?
It was a similar feeling. It's funny that you say that, because I think the first house show, the first show we ever put on, and the Grand Ole Opry were the two times that I was the closest to vomiting on the stage. That was the two most similar feelings. It's funny that you say that.
Do you let
really.
anybody know that, or do you just? I just
I don't
need my
mind telling
space?
anybody. I mean, oh no.
I mean, at the time.
Well, we're in the back at the Opry. I remember when we were about to walk on to, I say stage, it's a concrete slab in my dad's yard. My dad's pasture was the stage for the house show, and I remember looking at Malachi and being like, I'm gonna be sick. I'm gonna be sick. And at the Opry, I did pretty much the same thing. I was like, I don't know if I could make it on stage. I'm going to be sick. But then we got some jitters out and it was great. And Ashley introducing us it made everything better and made me calm.
It might be extreme that you feel like you're about to throw up, but it's common for people to be nervous and have to pee 15 times in 4 minutes before they go on stage. So maybe we can get it eventually to just urinating, and maybe everything's going to be great for you, Logan. There's so much going on with you guys. I just have to ask, what is the toughest thing about being on the road right now, and the easiest thing? Because it's a long run. I know you're on the road right through, I guess, until September, and there's probably about 10 days off, a 10-day break, and then it's back again. And what's the toughest and the easiest thing for you guys right now in that Sprinter? Probably a deluxe Sprinter.
Yeah, it actually is. A fan of ours actually bought that van for us, so it's just like such a blessing.
Free tickets for life.
Yeah, I know, right? Exactly.
She's like family to us, and it was such a surprise. We're so thankful.
Yeah, so we do have, we're not complaining at all, but the reality of chasing the buses when they can drive at night and you driving during the day. Everyone who's listening who's a musician understands the struggle. But it's that's the work, Yeah. And then you get on stage, and we've rehearsed and practiced and done all the preparation that, maybe apart from the first few shows playing in front of 15,000 people, it was stressful. But now that we are getting more comfortable with that, that's not as much of the work as it is just the logistics and navigating these road trips, and just the dynamic of having a band running on a skeleton crew. We have one tour manager, and the rest is pretty much band. And my wife's on the road with us doing photography, but outside of that, it's pretty skeleton crew.
You're kind of back to self-managing in a sense.
Right, yeah. Well, we have great managers day-to-day that help us out remotely most of the time, but
you're on the road and you blow a tire.
Yep.
Someone's got to get out the jack.
All hands on deck, yeah. Everyone's driving, and, just...
Well, at least you have that.
Yeah.
Because there's lots of bands out there where not everyone can drive and or should.
Exactly. Yeah. No, there's about 3 or 4 of us on deck that can drive, and so it makes these long hauls a little easier.
And what's the easiest part? Is it just getting on that stage?
I mean, I would say everything but the logistics is the easiest part. I mean, Dierks' crew, like I said, are like family and give us anything we need. So we have a green room with nice couches. We have air conditioning. We're used to...
There's showers backstage that
right.
work.
Yep.
We're just thankful. I mean, our first gigs as a band, and then our first opening gigs in the past couple years, we've been thankful for even the closet green rooms that we get, where you open the door and there's about 2 feet by 2 feet, maybe a chair. So we're just thankful when we get a mirror that we can both fit into, or a place we can set our bags. So I would say everything but just the logistics is the easiest part. Being able to have a giant crowd of fans that don't know us, and we're playing right before Zach Top, so usually everybody's in their seat by the time we're playing. We're so thankful for that. The crew is treating us like gold, and we definitely are getting more than we deserve. So it's all easy.
Let's wrap with that. The Band Loula on the road right now throughout the summer. The Band Loula on all the .coms and /backslashes.
Yep.
Malachi, Logan, thanks for doing this.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for
so
having
glad
us.
to be here.
Follow Music Row on X at Music Row Country, on Instagram at Music Row Official. Music Row is produced by Shed of Dreams.